3, 2, 1, go.
All right, what's up, guys? This is Please Stop Talking. It is a new podcast that we are going to be trying out. This is our third attempt at recording, and my name is still Donovan.
And my name is Brett.
All right,
Yeah.
so we have been having a little bit of difficulty. We've actually recorded two of these. They were both about 2.5 hours long, and both times Brett's brand new, state-of-the-art, premium gaming PC crashed while we were trying to record it. So I think that is a perfect place to start this podcast off with. Brett built a gaming PC. All right, you want to go ahead and tell us about your experience with your, first of all, building the PC, and second of all, how reliable has the PC master race been to you?
Okay, well, okay, first building the PC. I decided I want to build a gaming PC. I have an Xbox One, I have a Wii U, I have multitude of consoles, Sega Genesis, tons of consoles. I love gaming. I guess really so does Donovan. It's the gaming podcast is if we had a category, but whatever.
I mean, is it a gaming? I don't know, Brett. Do I technically qualify as a gamer anymore?
Well,
I mean, it's a very narrow, specific definition of what it means to be a gamer. All right?
Okay. Well,
and I don't know if I meet that criteria anymore. If you wanted, maybe you could just tell everyone what you think it means to be a gamer.
I'll need a flow chart for that. I don't have time. So we both play video games, and I decided I want to be part of the PC master race because you guys know what true gaming is. If you don't never played a PC, you don't know what true gaming is. You haven't lived till you've had WASD and a mouse, and you're hunched over your keyboard. So I decided to do it. I bought, and it was kind of like in this order, a case, RAM sticks, power supply, stuff that was cheaper. My RAM sticks were like $30. My case was $60. My power supply was like $50. Stuff that was cheaper that if I wanted to pull out, I could pull out pretty well. The last two things I bought were my video card, which is a GTX 960. I don't know what those numbers mean. It sounds cool. And then I bought an i5 6400 processor. Don't know what that means. I just know the i5 6400 is better than the i3.
And maybe like explain to them where you're coming from, like your experience with computers before this.
I know nothing about building a computer. I literally went on Reddit/r/build a PC and told them, tell me what to build. And they're like, no, don't do that. Like, you can't do that, and ban my post. And then they, what I did is
you tricked them.
I watched a YouTube video where this guy's like, this is what I built, blah, 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 follow along. And I go, guys, this is a good PC. And I, like, sent them literally the same parts. So it's like I went Control-C, Control-V. And they're like, no, you don't want that. You want this. And they, like, all, like, there's, like, 20 people built me a PC. They're like, no, AMD.
Basically, what Brett's trying to say is everybody on our build a PC is a fucking retard, and you guys all got fucking fooled by a master con artist. His name is Brett Varg. No space.
All caps.
All caps.
Yeah, I want the hate mail to come to me. You can email me at Mortimer something Gmail.
Shut the fuck up. No, you don't. Don't fucking email him Mortimer anything.
So building the PC, I wanted to do it on a day that I had, where I didn't have work. I could take as much time as I wanted, because before I even started buying any parts, I literally watched a video of someone building a PC. Then I watched another video. Then I found a video I really liked of him doing. It was like an hour-long video, but it really went in depth of what he was doing, and I really liked it. And so I watched it a couple times. You know, like if I like when I was at school, if my teacher was teaching something stupid, I would watch it. I would just watch it just to see, like,
if my teacher was teaching something stupid. It's like if I had already decided that what my teacher was saying wasn't important enough for me to even remotely pay attention to.
I spent a whole class period looking up N versus MP, and yeah, that was the whole thing. Or P versus NP. I don't know. So I literally
What's the difference between those things?
It's a complex number system thing. It's if you solve the problem, you get $1 million. Sound cool?
Nice.
Okay. So
yeah, well, that's definitely not worth it. That's like $1 million. Fuck that. I need $1 billion for it to be even remotely worth my time.
So I watch this video, I decided I'm gonna do it. I got to the part where I actually had all the parts. I laid all the parts out on my desk, on my bed, because my room is 9 by 11. It's super small. My desk, I can touch my wall, and I can reach more than halfway across my room to my other wall because it's so small. And my desk is like 2 feet from my bed, literally 2 feet. I think I measured it. So I had all the parts laid out on my desk. I had my PC tower. Which is my desk is just a folding table I bought from Home Depot. I had the video loaded on YouTube on my Xbox. First time I've ever actually used that app. So I looked at use out of it. I loaded it up, saw it. It was by, I think Newegg did it. Newegg does a couple of them every once.
I like Newegg.
Once in a while. I bought some parts from them. They're pretty cool. They had one where the guy's like, hey, I'm going to teach you how to do it. I've done it tons of times. And he had obviously every PC is different. Everyone has different parts, a little bit different stuff. And so he goes through and he's like, we are supposed to have this band that you wear and you're supposed to connect it to your tower. It has like a little alligator clip. And what it does is it discharges your electricity constantly because charges, I guess, can ruin your processor and the parts because it can send electricity through them. And he's like, no, you don't need that. All you need is wear some rubber shoes so you're not rubbing socks on the floor and touch the tower. Just every 10 seconds, just touch your tower. Just one tap. And it just discharges you. I go, sweet.
10 seconds? You have to do that every 10 seconds?
It was like 10 or 30.
Jesus fucking Christ. That would be like...
But you're always touching it anyway, so it's not really like a problem. Like if you're like about to pick up a part, he says, touch it, grab the part.
Just the way that you said it made me think it was like you had to count in your head. All right, let me fucking try to...
No, you just have to keep doing it. Like you have to constantly touch it just to keep discharging, but you don't have to make sure it's every 10 seconds or, every fifth turn is a counterclockwise turn when you're stirring chocolate milk.
It's you do fucking, when you're stirring your cauldron. It makes sense.
Yeah. So
the way the book says it, but it's the right way to do it.
Yeah, so I did that. And I did it. I got to parts where my power, because my motherboard doesn't take the two pieces from because some of the cords you have to supposed to hold together, they're not connected together. You're supposed to hold them together, and I didn't understand why until I guess I found my motherboard because mine only accepts one of them and not two, and it's just stuff like that. Building it took me 3 hours, and I got it built, and I needed drivers. Well, to get the drivers, I decided to load up my laptop. I downloaded them from every website I needed, and I put them on a USB flash drive. I also needed OS. I forgot about the operating system, and I was like, crap. So I ran to Best Buy, bought Windows 10. I like Windows 10. I think it's pretty good. I like it better than Windows 8. Windows 7 I like too. I think it's similar to that.
How do you feel about Vista?
You ever use Windows 94?
I am running on MS-DOS, and I find it perfectly suitable.
I'm surprised you even did you type / Skype?
Yeah. I went to run, and I put CMD, and it brought up the command prompt.
And, and then once I got it built, I had to go get this. I got the operating system. Because now if you buy Windows, it comes in a USB stick, and you have to put it in your thing. And when you load up your PC without operating systems, it goes to the BIOS or the motherboard BIOS, and it doesn't even do that. It flashes a screen literally 2 seconds. Press F12 to activate your BIOS, and it's what? Literally, I had to take a video of my screen because I couldn't read it.
It's a fucking beginner's trap, dude.
I know, because I literally took a video of my screen because I couldn't read it fast enough. Because there was 4 options and it had tons of writing all over it. I'm like, okay, now I went back to the video and scrolled and found what it said. I'm like, okay, F12. And then I had to tell it to load from that USB flash drive, and it loaded Windows. Once I got Windows, I switched to a different Newegg video where this guy built a PC, but then he had a second part where he did all the driver installation. The first video I watched was a different guy who I liked a little bit more on his building process, and he only did building, not the driver's installation or any operating system or any of that. So I switched to that one. And he's install your chipset, then you reset your computer. Then he's you can install all these next ones without resetting, which is great because I would never have known that to reset after the chipset. So I did that. I got my computer running. I ran into and I bought, Call of Duty 4, and I was playing, and all of a sudden it would just freeze. or if I left it idle on like Firefox, it would freeze. And I was wondering what it was, and I realized that my PC was only taking 5% power from the power supply. It wasn't accepting any more of the processor, so I had to like go in and adjust it to 100%. And I haven't had any problems until recently while doing this recording of the podcast. And I think it might be and Donovan and I both agree, it might be the memory, it's storing too much memory. So we're trying to find.
It's just, I mean, because we're constantly, basically, since it's streaming it and saving it, it's like constantly rewriting memory. And that obviously could lead to problems if there's something wrong with your memory.
It's like, well, or that's like, it's like, imagine if you have a whole piece of paper and you're trying to record everything. Eventually you run out of paper. Even if you try to like squeeze in, you'll run out of paper to write on. And that's like the idea.
Yeah.
It can't keep up. It has nowhere to go and it doesn't know what to do and it just freezes. So
and that could be a problem of, it's either you just don't have enough memory, which you probably have enough memory, or it could be that it's not properly reading the memory that you do have.
Yeah. Now I have to look into it, but yeah. So that's my experience. It wasn't as easy as people have said it was. It isn't as hard as I thought it would be. Now, on to the actual, like, being part of, like, the PC Master Race gaming community. You had a Genesis. Did you ever have a Nintendo, Donovan?
No, I did not.
Okay, I did as a child. I got one from a garage sale. And as a kid, you would, like, perform surgery. You would be like, scalpel, tweezers. You were fixing it. And let me tell you, when you got it to work to play Super Mario Brothers 3, it was more enjoyment.
Fixing the Nintendo?
Well, because, they'd be like, blow, put it in, blow on it again, reset.
Oh, yeah. You had to do that with the Genesis.
Yeah.
At least the Genesis that I had, because it loaded from the top.
Yeah. Trying to get it to work was, and then once you got it work, it was more fun than you would have playing the actual game. So you wouldn't want to do that. That is PC gaming. I don't, like, I tried to get Left 4 Dead to work. I couldn't, or it wasn't Left 4 Dead, it was Battlefield Bad Company 2.
Lame. That is so much better. You should have just lied and said it was Left 4 Dead.
No, because I was playing online, and that's why, because I can't lie about that. I was trying to get Punk Buster, which is like...
Left 4 Dead has online.
Yeah, which they try to use, which is like to avoid cheating.
Mm-hmm.
I literally it took me 45 minutes, because what it was is because there's two .exe files, Punk Buster A and Punk Buster B, and both have to run. And when I'd load up Bad Company, first, 0 would run. Then I got it to where I set it to both would run, then only A would run, then only B would run. It was back to none. And I sat there for 45 minutes. I got it to run, like multiplayer. I didn't even want to play. I was like, oh.
You're like, this is the most fulfilling victory that I am gonna have all night. So I'm just gonna be done. I'm gonna go out a champion. I have conquered this machine.
Yeah, like if you're gonna like fight Apollo Creed and win, you go out on that victory and just never fight again. It really is like that. And like people are like, oh, that's just one experience. PC gaming, for the amount of crap you have to go through, I still like console more. And I've used a mouse and keyboard. I've used multitude of games. Left 4 Dead, completely different game with a mouse and keyboard. You're so much more dead accurate. But getting Left 4 Dead to work, like buying a game and not knowing if it will work, is the biggest pain in the ass. Like just like like it's really bad. It's like your grandma buys you the PS4 version when you own an Xbox One, except not like that, because it still may run, but it may not. Like with the PS4, you can actually tell it's not going to run.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous. PC gaming, people like it. It's fun. Has some good games like Counter-Strike. Great game. That game's fantastic. It's super fun. And you don't get that on console.
So you're saying that you prefer consoles now, or are you saying that because for a while there it was, we both acknowledged that PC gaming was the superior platform, but now are you saying that you don't think so?
No, I think PC gaming is a superior platform to play on, but just the like for someone who has,
it's just the convenience. It's if you aren't willing to invest all of the time that you possibly can into making sure that your computer is going to run and run efficiently and run at a rate that is competitive with all of the other PCs, then if you aren't willing to invest all that time, you need to just get a console instead, because it's going to be a standardized platform. It's going to work when you put the fucking game in there, unless there's some kind of, whatever, like fucking Red Ring of Death or whatever. Just things that happen normally with
However,
PCs too. You know,
do that
screen
too.
of death is a fucking thing.
Yeah.
It happens just with any hardware, unless there's like a hardware malfunction, which it's obvious that it's going to be less likely to happen on a console because it's just pre-made. If there's going to be a problem with one of them, it's probably going to be a problem with all of them. You have all the support from fucking Microsoft or whatever.
On a PC though, you can replace, like, if your processor goes out, you can get a processor. However, that's $200. Just
yeah.
only got
Which if your fucking Xbox, like if your disk drive broke, you could get a new disk drive for like $60, or you could probably just go out and buy a new fucking Xbox for like 200 maybe.
Xbox Ones are at 300 right now. I think.
Okay, so you could buy a new one, or you could look for a used one or something.
And if you're under warranty, you send it to Microsoft. Wait a week, and you get the thing back.
Yeah, it's just console. It has a place. PC gaming, and this is what I've been saying, is PC gaming is superior to consoles in every aspect, nearly every aspect, except for convenience. And I also think that the PC gaming community is fucking atrocious.
Yeah,
I think that they are abrasive, and I think that they are what's the word? Like they exclude people from the community just as a rule. Basically, they're part of the PC gaming master race, and they'll make fun of you for whatever you play on, but they secretly don't want you to get a PC either, because they're like, no, stay over there, you fucking do your thing, we're better than you. It's one of those kind of deals, you know?
Yeah, well, like, I want to give some examples. You said it's simplistic. Like, right now, my computer's been running fine ever since I found out that the processor wasn't getting enough power, until right now. And that's now something I have to work around and look into, and that's an annoyance.
Yeah.
Like,
sorry for interrupting, but another thing about that is, if you have that problem on an Xbox, like if you go, oh, I was Skyping and, I Skyped for 2 hours and my Xbox crashed. You can go look it up, and because everybody's system is standardized, you will very likely find a solution to your problem. But with your PC, it could be your RAM, it could be your fucking, whatever. It could be all of these different things, and it all comes down to your brand of this, your brand of that, you know what I mean? Like, it's all individual parts, and it's harder. Obviously, I don't know. It would probably be, just to me, it seems like it would be harder to find reliable help for your PC.
It is, because like it took me a week to figure out the processor problem. Like, I would spend 2 hours on it every day and then just eventually give up, because everyone's like, you need to take out sticks of RAM, you need to put your RAM back in, you need to like run your computer for 2 hours with both sticks out, one stick out, one stick out. Oh, that's a lot of work.
You need to wrap your computer in a towel and then run it for an hour.
Yeah. Well, and that worked. That's a simple solution that you could look up the problem. I got 3 rings, put in a towel. That was standard.
And everyone was like, "Is this fake? Is this what this is what we're supposed to fucking this is what we're supposed to fucking do?" I never had the red ring, but I always thought that was funny that was like the actual solution.
Because it was a piece of solder and they're breaking or being.
No, it was because like the heat, like the glue on the heat sink would fucking like melt, and then it would like slide out, so it would like overheat, right? So then you'd put the towel on so that the glue would like melt again, and then like the heat sink would like fall back into place or some shit.
I thought it was a piece of solder somewhere, and like with the processor running.
I'll look it up. Keep talking about your PC.
But so PC, and I have to look into this problem now. Like we have to like stop mid-podcast, hit record again, so that if we do lose a portion, we're losing the bottom the front half, not the whole thing. And it's annoying to have to deal with that, to even have to go through that problem. I don't know. It's kind of ridiculous. Like, the whole PC thing, it's just annoying to have to deal with. And the whole, I want to go on to what you said about the community. I went on, like, Left 4 Dead 2. Me and you played Left 4 Dead 2. Left 4 Dead 1 we played a ton of. Left 4 Dead 2 we played tons of. Versus and story.
And to be fair, like, Left 4 Dead 1 is a fantastic game. The only reason we played that game so much was because we didn't have Left 4 Dead 2. Left 4 Dead 2 is, in pretty much all aspects, just a strictly better version of Left 4 Dead 1.
Yeah, it's like if someone gave you a diamond ring, and it's like, this diamond ring is 24 karat gold, and then someone's like, oh, here's some more diamonds for it. It's just better. It's not like it's like taking a piece of shit and putting a diamond. It's like taking a piece of diamond and just putting diamonds in the diamond.
Yeah, Left 4 Dead, and like let's just be clear, we're not trying to suck Valve's dick right now, but Valve, if you want to come over, pull down your pants, I'll suck your fucking. The game's fucking amazing. All right.
Yeah,
And this is not news to anybody at this point, but
however,
Jesus
I
Christ,
think everyone on PC gaming should have to suck Valve's dick because it's Steam is like the only reason PC gaming's even around still, right? Like that's a big thing.
yeah, because Steam, yeah, for sure.
Because like I went to play Left 4 Dead and people were like, oh, like I would, because I use the talk and I kind of hate talking on like Left 4 Dead because you have to like on any game it's on CS:GO, Left 4 Dead, any Valve game I've realized you have to do push to talk. So I have a mouse with 2 thumb buttons and I use one of the thumb buttons push to talk and I either run into the problem that A, I don't push the button, or B, I just sit there and hold the button down.
And then you're just fucking yelling at people. You're like, why the fuck aren't you listening to me?
Yeah, but and so I would get into games, and people were like, "Oh, have you played?" I go, "Yeah, I played on the 360." They go, "Oh, okay, well, just stick with us, and we'll like." I literally said, "Yeah, I played," and we were playing Dark Carnival Versus, and they're like, "Oh, yeah, okay, well, you need to stick with us because you don't know what you're doing." I go, "I played this game." They go, "Yeah, okay." I was like completely like disregard me because I played on a console, and it's not like it's a port. It's not like it's like a butchered port like where Dark Carnival only the finale.
Not like there's
the same
anything
game.
different about the map. It's just you're a console peasant, or you used to be a console peasant, so you don't understand how shit's done.
Yeah,
I don't know.
And that's what like people literally treat like in CS:GO. I was taking all the help I could get because I didn't know anything about the map or game. But that was like like, oh, should I get this gun or that gun, or is like if anyone knew something that I didn't. Like controls was a big thing. I didn't know all the controls, and that's like a big thing. Left 4 Dead, I'm like, I don't really need to know. Like I didn't know about the like how to chat because apparently you can make your players go like, hey, look, or I need help, like the in-game models. Yeah,
you can do that on console too.
Can you? I can't remember. I didn't care.
Yeah, like if it's context sensitive, so if you like look around and you have to, it's one of the buttons that like one of the stick buttons. That
Oh
you have
yeah,
to click
see,
in.
it had that. Well,
and
this
and like if you're looking at pills, like if one of the more famous ones is Lewis will be like pills here, and fucking it's like a meme now.
Well, no, but but on PC they have like a chat wheel. Like you can be like, what game did we play that'd be like on me or was it?
Oh my god, what the fuck game was that? Where it was just where you would fucking click the fucking thing, and it was just so fucking annoying, but it was hilarious. Yeah. I don't even remember what the fuck game that was.
Was it Battlefield Bad Company 2?
Was it Sniper Elite? It wasn't Sniper Elite, was it?
It might have been. I think it was Battlefield Bad Company 2 because it was a game we both had.
Well, we both had Sniper Elite.
I know, it might have been Sniper Elite, but the whole like the idea was a chat wheel, and that was like, and I don't need that. And people like just treat you like ridiculously dumb if you play on console at all. Like even if it's the same game, just you don't know what you're doing. You're not good, and people disregard it as like a system. Like, and people always go, I would never buy a console because the second you buy it, it's outdated. I'm like, isn't everything outdated you buy right when you buy it? Like even in terms of PC, like you could buy the GTX 1080 and it's like that's the best graphics card on the market, Donovan. But they're already working on the next one, so doesn't technically it's still outdated. Like, it's not
so then you have the debate where it's like, do I buy this one or do I wait 6 months for the next one to come out?
Yeah, like I have an iPhone 6s. This thing's outdated probably 2 months before it even came out. Yeah, I don't know. PC gaming is it's a toxic market, I think, and
So it's saying that this says the red ring of death is usually caused by a processor or RAM failure. Basically, what happens is because it's because of the heat sink, it would overheat because the heat sink was a piece of shit. But then it would cause stress on the soldering joints of what's it called? Of the fucking memory and the fucking CPU and the GPU. Okay. They're saying that it can cause stress on those, which made it happen.
Okay. So we're both like mine was a little bit like yours was like the initial and then mine was like the final part. So
yeah, mine was like kind of what caused it, and then yours was like what's happening.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't know. PC gaming, I mean, I would recommend, because we've had the debate of are consoles dead. I still think PC gaming is a good thing to have or want, but I don't think it's I think consoles will still have a place if they stop doing that bullshit upgrade thing. we have to upgrade the
So,
console.
do you still think that Microsoft is going to try to get out of the console market?
I think they will. I think Nintendo will always have a place in the console market because they're cheap and they quality titles that they don't shovel out to other. I mean, their software is exclusive to their games. So I think Nintendo'll stay in. I think Sony's going to die out and just go back to TVs and whatever else Sony does, movies, really shitty movies, I guess.
I mean, I disagree with you. I think that they're gonna. I think they might like focus less on it. Like they might put less resources into it, Microsoft and Sony. But I think that they're probably always gonna. I'm sure they have to make probably just in subscriptions alone. They probably make a ridiculous amount of money. Like honestly, just for Xbox Live and fucking PSN. There's so much tied to it. Like the amount of money they get for game sales. They usually take losses on the consoles themselves. The amount of money they get for digital downloads of like music and movies and fucking anything. The amount of money they get on fucking subscriptions. I gotta figure that they're at the very least, they're turning a profit on it. I'm not saying that. Obviously, nobody's gonna be like, oh yeah, the Xbox is Microsoft's main fucking thing. That's what they. Windows is clearly always gonna be Microsoft's mainstay. It's gonna be what they focus on, but. I have to figure that they're making money on their consoles.
Yeah, well, I mean, I just looked it up. In 2015, Microsoft said there's 48 million Xbox Live users. That's a lot. However, that doesn't like describe if it's Xbox Live Gold, Xbox Live Silver, and it also included PC market. But that's still a ton of freaking people. 48 million. Yeah. That's what, a sixth of our country.
Yeah, it's a lot of people.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I don't think they're going to be getting out of it. I don't know the exact numbers. I'm not going to waste everybody's time trying to look them up right now. But my feeling is that everything that's tied into that, I think that it adds up to enough to where they are, at the very least, they're making back more than what they are spending on producing the consoles, which basically everybody acknowledges that they're taking a loss on it.
Yeah, everyone, I mean, let's think of it like this. The subscription service alone like shifted Sony's view because they're always like free gaming on the PS3 and then immediately went for PS4. They're like, we need
and I'm sure that caused people to jump ship and like they're like, oh, I'm not fucking doing this. I'll just go PC gaming or I'll go Xbox.
Yeah.
Because like for whatever reason, I don't know why you would switch from PS4 to Xbox because of that because they both have it. But I'm sure that made people switch. But they were just like, the people who do stay are going to be paying us this fee for literally nothing. So we're just going to go ahead and do this, and people who leave can go fuck themselves. Basically, right? Does that seem like what they did?
Well, like one argument for PC gaming is like, oh, you never have to pay a fee. It's like you're paying that fee to like, for one, it helps with like server overload. Like remember when I don't remember if you remember this back on the 360 when PS3 went out for 6 weeks.
Yeah, that was fucking funny.
When it just went down and they couldn't get it back up. Like, that's one thing you pay for is, like, DDoS attacks and protection like that.
But they've been having haven't they recently been having a lot of hacks too?
I think that was back in Christmas. I don't think it was currently. Like, in Christmas, the people who did it originally back in PS3 said they're going to do it again. And then I think both of them went out for a couple hours. And then Anonymous said, if you do that again, we're going to come and attack you. And then they did it again, and Anonymous, I think, got him arrested.
That's funny.
Yeah.
All right, well, we've been talking about fucking PC versus consoles for like a billion years now, so...
Yeah, I know.
Do you want to move on to something else, or do you want to keep talking about this, or...
I don't know. I just want to say, like, one thing I do want to talk about is the Steam console. Like, I debated that. That thing, I don't understand what the Steam console is. It's a PC, right? Like a pre-built PC? That's what that is? That's just, it's built to run games and that's it?
The Steam box, right?
Yeah. I don't know what it's called. But you can buy different versions, like more processing power and stuff. And I'm like, that's just weird. And like it sounds like a great idea. Like if you want to get into PC gaming, but want to have a console convenience. Have you seen the controller though? It doesn't have like sticks. It has like
the pads. Weird like pads that you like slide.
And everyone's like, "Oh yeah, it's great." I'm like, do you slide them or is it just like a touchpad?
I think it's like a touchpad.
Yeah, and it's supposed to give you accuracy of a mouse and keyboard. And I'm like, I don't think, like, I would think a joystick would just be better in that opinion. Like, I don't know. I've never used one, but I would just feel like it's like playing on a phone.
I can't fucking play with mouse and keyboard, so if they're saying like, oh, it's gonna be like a mouse and keyboard, I'm gonna just be like, nah, I'm
I
good.
learned, but that was a hard thing for me on PC gaming. I think it's like a cool idea, but I wish it had sticks. I really do.
It's definitely interesting.
Yeah,
It's an interesting
model.
idea, basically, to just say we're making a console for PC gamers. You know what I mean? Like that's basically what they're saying, right?
Yeah, and PC gamers like, oh yeah, that's fine, but owning an Xbox One is not fine.
Yeah, fucking, they're weird. Yeah, PC, but that just goes back to the toxicity of the PC gaming community. It's just all the contradictions. Whenever you have a group that's that large and that fueled by like,
Hate.
just not. I'm not gonna say hate. I don't know if they actually hate people who play consoles, but when they're fueled by basically
Prestigiousness. They feel prestigious.
no, it is basically dislike. When they're fueled by their like collective dislike or disdain for another group, you get all of these contradictions popping up to where any logical person would say, that doesn't fucking make sense, but they're like, no, we're fine with it. It's like, that doesn't fucking, it's not how that works. You don't get to say consoles fucking suck, but then if they make this console, it's fine. Like, you don't get to say that, but they just don't give a fuck. Alright. I think we should move on, because this is probably, I don't know, this sounds fun to me, but it might be boring for the one other person who's listening to it.
Your mother?
Yeah, my mom might not enjoy this part of the podcast. Alright, so, the fucking next thing, here's a segue. The next thing on my list of things to talk about, Brett, is fucking, what is your earliest memory? And this is something, just full disclosure, we already talked about this before, but the audio got lost because Brett has an awesome Uber Elite Masterclass gaming PC that couldn't record 2.5 hours of audio. What's your earliest memory, Brett?
My earliest memory, I was a kid. I was a little kid. I went to preschool. It's called Snow White Preschool. And my mom didn't have to go to work till late that day. So she's like, okay, I'm going to take you to McDonald's and get you a Happy Meal, and you're going to go to preschool, and I don't think you actually learn anything in preschool. You're going to do kid shit. You're going to go and do kid shit.
I think that you're supposed to learn, like, the alphabet and shit, aren't you? Like, my nephew just finished pre-K, and he learned his alphabet, and he learned his numbers, and he learned a little bit of basic, like, addition and not any subtraction, but I thought it was pretty impressive. I don't think that I learned all that shit in preschool.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Like, there's more school-oriented ones, but it doesn't really matter. So I go and I sit down in this chair, and my mom hands me my meal and passes me my cheeseburger. And then she leaves right before I take a bite of this cheeseburger. Like, I'm taking it to my mouth. Like, mouth is opening wide to take this cheeseburger in it. Like, I am ready. The woman comes up, snatches it away, throws it all in the bag, and says, "It is nap time. You are not allowed to eat." And puts me in this freaking uncomfortable white bed. And that's when I knew. I'm like, I'm burning this place to the ground.
You guys had beds?
It was like a plastic bed. It was a plastic, like, it was a bed shape, but it was made out of plastic. Plastic, like someone like vacuum molded it. It was, and it was like hollow underneath. It was real light, and you can move it around. And so like when kids would like move at all, like if they like shifted in their sleep, the whole thing would like scoot across the floor, and it would make a sound, and it got real at once.
That's funny.
Yeah, so like I don't know how anyone slept, but she just took it away, and I'm like, I wasn't even tired because I didn't get up till late, and I just wanted to burn that place to the ground because I had to sit in nap time, just bored out of my mind.
Just fucking staring at her. You fucking bitch. You're probably eating my fucking cheeseburger right now, aren't you? You fat fucking cunt.
I didn't even get to eat it that day. It just didn't happen. I never saw that cheeseburger again. I didn't see that cheeseburger again. I just took it. They just took it from me, Donovan.
Wow, they never fucking gave it back to you?
No.
You couldn't have just, I mean, obviously you might not have that kind of awareness at that age, but it seems like if you had just said to her, "Hey, I haven't eaten all day. Do you mind if I eat that cheeseburger? Would that be okay?" She probably would have given it to you, but did you just not even ask?
I guess not. Like, I don't know. I just was a little kid. I don't remember. Like, I guess I just didn't have...
Yeah, like I said, I don't expect you to have that kind of, like, awareness or whatever at that age, but...
And that she's an adult, and I was always taught, listen to the adults, so.
That's kind of, do you think you should go, like, find her again? And, like, you should, like, find her online and be like, find her house and go and just, like, eat cheeseburgers in front of her house, like, every day. Just be like, yeah.
Go buy, like, a kiddie table and chair and just sit there, like, bring it with me.
Go find one of those beds and just, like, sit on the bed, like, while you're doing it. Fucking be like, yeah, who's got the fucking cheeseburgers now, bitch? You want a cheeseburger? You don't get one.
Yeah.
It's nap time, bitch. And then, like, knock on the door one day and be like, you want this cheeseburger? And then, like, regardless of what she says, just be like, no food, it's nap time, bitch. And then, like, clock her in the fucking face, and then she passes out, and it's like, yeah, poetic justice, because you're asleep, and you wanted me to go to sleep, and you don't get a hamburger, because I didn't get a hamburger.
Okay.
It's like poetry mirrors itself.
Yeah, look up blue rocking horse, and that's all you have to put into Google, and it'll show up the images, because I'm going to talk about that. So at my place, at my preschool, we had a Snow White, it's called Snow White, we had a castle, right? So this castle had like a hole in it, like a square hole that you could climb into. Well, you couldn't really like get into it because we were all like tiny. So the way we had to do it was we had to take those blue rocking horses that you see and stack them on top, like make this wobbly nest. And it would be like 3-year-olds climbing on it, and it would be, and only the boys would do it because the girls, we wouldn't allow the girls in it. So all the boys would get in, and then we had this piece of like carpet. Like it was like a carpet square that you get from like Home Depot, and we would just slide it over the hole and sit on it, so the girls couldn't get in. We were just dicks, just complete dicks. And I'm like, we want to play, and they're like, no, stay down there. And like it was a dark castle. Like inside there was no lights. It was just a dark like room, but it was our dark room.
Yeah, and that's the important shit. That's the important thing. It doesn't matter how shitty it is. Like Brett, I used to literally. Like, my favorite toy when I was a kid was literally a cardboard box. I had a cardboard box, and, like, we had, like, a counter that, like, hung over, like, the edge or whatever, you know what I mean? And it was just, like, a place for people to sit. It was, like, a breakfast bar kind of deal.
Yeah.
I had my cardboard box. It was underneath the overhang of the counter, and I had a blanket in there, and I would sometimes have a snack, and I had, like, my fucking stuffed animal, and I would literally sit in that cardboard box for hours upon hours a day, and I fucking loved it. It was my favorite fucking thing, because nobody else could even fit in there, let alone, like, actually try to get in there. Nobody could fit in there. I was the only person, so it was my fucking thing. Didn't matter that it was just a cardboard box. And eventually I remember, like, I cut out, like, a little square, because our kitchen, like, faced the living room, which had the TV in it, so I cut out a little square so I could watch whatever was on the TV from inside of my cardboard box. Yeah. It was the dopest shit.
I had, like as a kid, you would build forts, because it was like, this is my personal space, parents can't get in here, the crawl space is too low, because you'd build them to fit your size, not them, and it was amazing. It was the best.
That kind of reminds me of when I was, maybe, like, 12 or something. There was an empty lot across from my mom's house, and it just was filled with sagebrush. And one time my friend came over. It was either just my one friend, John Michael, or it was multiple friends. And we went out into the thing, and we found like this. It was like, I guess you could call it a fort if you wanted to, but it was really just a hole that like some kids had dug into the ground. It was just like a hole, like a ditch. Like it was just a ditch that was in the ground, and there was like a couple chairs, and there was an NES in the fucking ditch, like a Nintendo Entertainment System in the fucking ditch. And I was just like, what the fuck? Because there was no TV. There's no way they were getting power out there. What the fuck are they doing with setting? There's probably, now that I think about it, there's probably like weed or something in the fucking NES, and I just didn't even look.
Yeah. Like,
It was fucking weird as shit to me, because it was just this lot that was completely filled with sagebrush. So they had to get to this point, they had to take out all the sagebrush from this fucking area, and then they dug a ditch, and they put chairs in it and an NES. What the fuck are you guys doing? Like, I literally don't understand. I still don't understand how that... But I guess it's just like... I guess it's like what you said. They just had their own place, and it didn't matter how shitty it was. They could just go there.
Well, like, One like when I was a kid, I had some friends and we used to like this kid had a big backyard with a forest. We literally sat out there one day, like ripping branches and just trying to we built a fort like out of like branches and logs, like stacking them and stuff like that. And I'm like, it was just branches and logs, but it was our branches and logs. That's what mattered. That's what mattered is that it was mine and it was his, and we could sit in there and be alone.
And that really is. It just comes from this whole like. I guess it comes from how now we're all in like houses and shit, whereas like houses that have like doors and fucking locks on the doors, and if you go outside of the house when you're a kid, it's like a really big deal. Like you need to ask your parents' permission and fucking you have to sign like 86 forms and you have to fucking fill out a punch card, you have to clock out, you have to fucking be like, I will be back by this time. If I'm not back by this time, like you have to like fucking make a deal with your parents for you to go out and get some fucking fresh air. Like, it's a really fucking big deal.
Like, it's no privacy. Like, or...
Yeah, so it's not even no privacy. It's just that you're confined in this space with these people. And, you know, however close you are to them, they are other people. They have their own interests. They want their own shit. And generally, when you're a kid, your interests are valued least among everyone in the house. It basically, the order of whose shit, like whose opinion matters the most is the wife, because every husband is a fucking cuckold, but he just doesn't know it. The wife, and then the fucking husband, and then it's the kids. If the oldest kid is over like 15 years of age, then he's the bottom. And then it goes just based on age. So if you're 15 years or older, your opinion doesn't matter at all. You're at the bottom of the list.
Because you don't have
like
experience to be an adult, and you're like, no, you're dumb.
So I guess it would be, okay, so wife, husband, like if there's a baby that, you know, if it needs fucking milk or something, that takes priority. Or maybe it might even be baby, wife, husband, and then like...
Baby girl.
You know what I mean?
Girl.
And then if you're over 6, then you start right there, and then it's just up until the age of 15. Or it's, what? This is I'm confusing myself with my own fucking list here. Baby, wife, husband, anyone who is 14 years, and then it goes down to the age of 6, and then it's like a 15-year-old, and then
Grandpa
underneath the 15-year-old is like, and it's like 5 to 4. Like 5 and 4 right there, because you're just sort of shafted at that age. And then after that, it's like any elderly people that you have.
Yeah. Okay.
That was a ridiculous list.
That was stupid to listen to. I got retarded listening to it. Holy cow.
No, you were already retarded.
Okay.
You don't have to worry about that.
No.
All right. Well, fuck. The reason that I don't even know why I wrote down this fucking topic, because my earliest memory is, I've already told you about this, but I just wanted, for posterity, my earliest memory is that I just remember waking up in a puddle of drool when I was done with nap time in kindergarten, and apparently I did it a lot, because I have a lot of memories of doing it, and various sizes of pools of fucking drool that were just coming out of my fucking mouth. I don't know, it's a happy memory. It's a very happy memory, but Your story was a lot better than mine, and as such, I feel like I should have gone. Here's the thing, we could have remedied this, because we recorded this twice, so I could have been like, let me tell mine first, so then we can hit him with, like, the closer, which is, like, your funny story. But then, no,
See,
we didn't do that this time either.
That's probably the reason it's my earliest memory, is because I just got so mad with the rage, I suppressed every other memory except that one of just wanting
some people like repress like traumatizing memories, and like you're the exact opposite. You're like, I want to fucking remember this so I can harbor this fucking rage, and I can fucking use it when I'm powerful enough to crush it.
Yeah, like, these 4-year-old arms, they can't do anything now. But when these arms are 8 years old, they can kill you.
Did you see this shit? This is a fucking story from today. I'm looking at Slashdot right now. Police 3D printed a murder victim's finger to unlock his phone. So they had they were like, we need his fingerprint to get into his phone. let's 3D print his fucking finger. That's insane, right?
Huh? Is that legal?
Once created, the 3D model will be used to create a false fingerprint, which could be used to unlock the phone. Because the investigation is ongoing, details are limited. It's unclear whether the technique will be successful. It's similar to techniques used to create working fingerprint models, scan images, often in coordination with law enforcement. So I guess the assumption is it's legal. That's very interesting, and that's just kind of compounds like with the fact that everybody who understands anything is in agreement that fingerprint security technology is a fucking joke. Like, don't use it. But people are still like, ooh, it's so high tech. Let me fucking use it.
Like, I don't have it on. I don't use it at all. I have like the ability to use it. I actually have a case that makes it harder to use it just because I don't care. Like, my case is meant to be waterproof.
Yeah, you got the life-proof case, right?
Yeah. Well, this is my second one. The first one I had paint fall on because I was at work and I work at a hardware store and paint fell on it, or I got paint on it from my hands, and so I said, screw it, I just bought a new one. But it did what it did. It protected the phone. So, hey, $25 is better than $700. But, yeah, no, like, I don't know. Like, 3D printing is such a bad technology right now.
It really is.
I have a use for it, but that's only because I've learned how to do it. And even when I mean uses, I mean I have limited uses. Like, I need to repair my teacher did it one time because his brother broke his luggage bag. His button on his luggage broke, so he repaired the luggage to the handle by taking the old piece and measuring it. And that's like a small use, and that's because consumer use for 3D printing is so low in terms of just availability and efficiency, while a commercial has uses. Like, what it is, like, commercial, what they can do is, like, they can be like, okay, like, the whole point of commercial 3D printing is, like, let's say you're in Afghanistan and you have, I want to say a bicycle just because it's easier to describe this, or a motorcycle, and they notice that on a lot of them the right pedal keeps breaking, and what they can do is they can investigate it and then, like, put it in 3D software, like, and then with 3D software you can actually stress test it, like, put stress on the various parts out of different material made, and it'll show you where it's going to snap under how much force. And so that has a use. And then what they can do is, while they're there, instead of having to ship back to America, tell America what the problem is, and have them ship parts, they can fix it themselves, put on a prototype. Does that work? Yes. Send it to America, the information, the file, and say, hey, this is what we need to do instead of this. This is because they're breaking. And they're like, okay, cool. And they can print them and put them on the pieces. And while the people in Afghanistan can just keep printing what they can to fix what they have. So they don't have to, like, get shipments. And that's what the use of it is.
Yeah, it's just astonishingly convenient production that you could theoretically use at the consumer level, but yeah, it does have a lot more industrial applications than consumer applications. Yeah.
Well, and especially because it's a high price point to get a MakerBot, which is a 3D printer. It's the cheapest one I've ever seen. My school had them. My school had one. My school had one that was huge too. Like, to print like a 4 inch by 4 inch cube is $1,000. Like, to get that printer.
Yeah.
For the printer, and it's a shitty printer because when they do it, they have to build support beams. Like, if you build, like, let's say you build an L, how you would do an L is you'd actually lay it down so it wouldn't have to do it. But let's say you were retarded and built the L so it was standing up on the end and had that overhang, it would have to build material over the overhang because it would actually, like, slouch down if it didn't have it because it's, like, molten plastic. And then
so you're saying that if you flipped the L over so it was basically a 7?
Yeah, it would have to. Because what you would do is you'd actually lay it down flat so that.
Yeah, no, obviously I'm not retarded, Brett. I understand how you would do it.
But
yeah, but you're saying that it has to have, like, some kind of medium underneath it to support it, or else it's just gonna obviously not work.
Yeah, and what it does is they build supports. Well, on that's the cheapest one. It actually uses the same plastic that it builds the L out of. So once you get it, because it doesn't build it exactly the same.
It does use the same plastic. Yeah. Okay.
On the cheap one,
I thought that it was a different.
There are the more expensive ones, which can run you $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. Will actually use another material, and I don't know what the material is, but once you get it, you throw it into, like, a solution bath, and it melts all that material away. So, like, you may build, like, let's say you build an upside down cone, like, on its point, it would actually just print out a cylinder with, like, 2 different materials, and you throw it in the bath, and you have a cone.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
See, that's what I thought it was on all of them, but I didn't realize that there were some that it's not.
On the cheaper ones, it's not. So that's what the problem is. Because, like, and because like 3D printing also isn't solid, you can make it solid, but like to save money, it's all honeycomb shapes inside because it still has support.
Yeah, that makes
But
sense.
the support is like obviously different where you can cut it away, but it still leaves jaggedness. It doesn't leave a perfect like smooth line because you have to like.
So it's basically you just have like a fucking block of like this 3D material, and you have to carve it yourself. Basically, like
Well,
we're just one step away from just having like going back and using a chisel to fucking.
Freaking. But yeah, I mean it's cool and it has its process applications, but for the consumer level, it's just too expensive to afford.
Yeah, and I think that's just I mean, that's kind of the same thing as everything, right? Every new technology just goes through that phase where it's ridiculously expensive and it can only be used by people who are insanely wealthy or companies. And then eventually they figure out the technology, they learn how to mass produce it, they learn how to, whatever. And then it gets to the consumer level. Like that's the way it is with computers, that's the way it was with fucking cell phones, TVs. TVs used to be ridiculously expensive.
Oh, I know.
Fucking even like new TVs, like even now, like fucking 4K TVs,
It's like $3,000.
$2,000.
Is it? Not.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, the only ones that I see are whenever I go to the Navy Exchange, and they usually have stuff for like a lower price
Yeah.
because they get like discounts or whatever. I don't know. So whenever I see them, it's like 2,400. So it could very easily be 3,000, 3,500 for other places. And you know that in a couple of years, it's not going to be like that. Those are going to be just like the same price as like a normal, like a smart TV is.
Yeah.
Nowadays.
And the problem is and another thing with 3D printing that's a big problem. This is probably no one's going to listen to this part. This is like the dumbest thing we talked about, but it's fine. I mean, no one's listen already. So, like 3D printing, like okay, when you use Microsoft Word, you have to buy the software. You have to buy Office. And Word, I don't know if you've ever used Google Docs, is very similar to Google Docs. Not perfect, but similar.
I've never used Google Docs.
Okay, if you had to, you could figure it out like easily. Like you could, okay, like some things like on Google Docs, like you can't actually you can't like right click to do copy and paste. You have to use commands, like keystroke commands. One thing I hate about 3D printing is I can use Autodesk, their Inventor program, really well. I designed a bike on it. And that costs money. However, as a student, you can get it for free. But again, it's taxing on the computer, so you have to have a very good computer. But like if I try to use SketchUp, which is a free program, I don't know how to use it. I can't get a square or a rectangle. I mean, or like a cube. I just can't use it. And that's a big problem. Is all the software is so different.
Mm-hmm.
Which I guess is like similar to a lot of things, but for a consumer base, you have to have some kind of formality and union ID.
I mean, not necessarily. I mean, it's like I was saying on one of the podcasts that got deleted because your awesome, super, uber elite gaming PC master race. Fucking fucking what? I don't even know. Yeah, because I installed fucking GIMP. Remember I was telling you about this? I installed GIMP on my sister's thing, which is basically for anybody, for the one person, for mom, if you don't know. GIMP is like basically Photoshop, but it's free. It's an open source thing, and it's free, and you download it, and it's basically Photoshop. It's a little different than Photoshop, the way that it handles windows and shit. Obviously, it can't just be a clone of Photoshop because that would be illegal, but it's a little different, but it has basically all the features that you're going to find in Photoshop. And it's a tool that you could use on a professional level. You could do whatever you want. And so my sister was like, I need something to edit photos because people are asking me to, edit their photos and send them to them. And, I'm taking their photos and they want them to be black and white or they want them whatever. So I was like, okay, well, I use GIMP is what I use. It's free. And then I go and download it for her. She looks at it for like 2 seconds, and then she's like, yeah, I don't know how to use this. So she just goes online and fucking finds like an app that just specifically changes the colors, like the hues and the fucking saturation and shit on pictures. Doesn't do anything else. You can't, fucking probably change the contrast. You can't like edit you can't like crop. You can't fucking do anything on it other than just change the fucking colors on your picture.
Yeah.
So to me, GIMP is fine. Like I use it. I think it's amazing. It's got a whole bunch of tools and things that I really enjoy using. But to her, it's way too complicated. So basically what I'm getting at is there's always a space in the market for diversity in the way that your program runs. So like to you, like whatever that program that you use, Sketchpad,
SketchUp. Yeah.
SketchUp is too complicated, or it just you don't understand how to use it. But to someone else, that might be like the perfect thing. Like maybe you need to go out and you need to find an app online that just lets you fucking 3D print random shit or whatever. But maybe to somebody else who actually cares about what they're doing and who actually wants to put in the time and who isn't retarded, maybe they can use SketchUp, and it'll be a really good app for a professional company or whatever to use.
Yeah, no. I understand. It's a weird idea of trying to fix one for the
I
other.
like how I just called you retarded and you're just like, yeah, no, I just
you know.
like
Well,
at this
like
point you just
Inventor, you go like it's super simple to me, and it's like click, draw a square, hit extrude, make yourself a cube, boom, 2 steps, and that's fine. And like one thing I hated about SketchUp.
2 steps?
What?
I don't know. Oh, that was more than 2 steps, but you did learn how to count in Missouri, so I'll give you a pass on it.
Well, not really, because drawing a sketch and like going to sketch and drawing a sketch are the same step, and then
draw square, exude, print.
extrude.
Draw square 1, extrude 2, print 3. That's how I learned it.
I never
Missouri,
said print, so kill yourself. Oh,
what did you say?
I never learned that. I never said it print, so kill yourself.
You fucking said print. Are you fucking kidding me? You literally said it. It's recorded.
Before I send you this file, I need to edit it for a second.
No, you fucking don't. You said fucking print. You're a little bitch.
Well, like, see, for one, also printing, this is just to add on, you don't print, like, right away. You don't print, like, you can print a Word doc, like a DOC file. No, you can't do that with 3D printing because you have a IPT file, which is a part file. You have to convert that to an STL file, which is a print.
So anyways, how do you feel about Fallout 4? You've played Fallout 4. I still haven't played it. Let's just move on from fucking 3D printing.podcast. How do you feel about Fallout 4?
Oh, is that one of your topics? Or are you just trying to like...
That's one of my topics. Let's fucking move on. Because we literally haven't had a chance to talk since before Fallout 4 came out.
Oh, we didn't talk, I think, since Christmas of the year before last.
Yeah, so Christmas 2014.
Yeah.
So, and just for the one person who might be listening who like accidentally clicked on this and somehow can't close the fucking video, it's currently July 22nd in Guam, so it's July 21st in the real world. But yeah, so quite a while it's been since we discussed anything. So got a lot of games and a lot of shit that's happened since that we haven't talked about, and Fallout 4 is one of them that I happen to be interested in. So I just want to know. Because you said initially, as you do every time, you were like, yeah, I really love Fallout 4. It's super great. It's super awesome. And I was like, yeah, everyone's kind of saying that the dialogue is kind of shitty. And like, because obviously I hadn't played it, but I was like, everyone's saying that the dialogue's kind of shitty and maybe like the speech system is shitty and like the leveling system is too simple. And you're like, no, it's great. It's amazing. I love this game. And then flash forward like 4 months or something. And you're like, oh no, yeah, it's kind of shitty. I don't really like it. I don't really like to play it. It's kind of a giant sack of fucking dog turds, and I just hate it. So basically what I want to do is just ask you, do you like the fucking game or not? Because I honestly still don't know.
Well, see, here's where the problem is. Speech is like, you have 4 buttons, way too many buttons. Can we get it down to 1 button? Like, can we just get one speed?
Can we get it down to 1 button? And maybe don't even make me click the button. In fact, if I could just play the entire game without touching the controller, that would be perfect for me.
No. I like the game. I think it's fun. I think the chat trees... Because at first I was like, oh, the chat trees are just simplified versions of what you're going to say. They're not. They're like Donovan, like, ask me, how's my day?
How's your day?
It's all right. That's 1. It's okay. That's 2. I've been better. That's 3, and it could be worse. It's all the same answer.
The last one has to be sarcastic.
Oh, yeah. How's my day? Oh, I got my son stolen, so good.
Yeah. That was a terrible example that you just gave, but yeah, it's way too, and I think that that's another complaint that people have had is that you do all the speech options and you always end up at the same result regardless of what you pick. Like if you're trying to be an ass, like there's no way to be a bad person in Fallout 4. You just can't really do it. You can maybe kill, like if your choice is you can kill fucking your son or whatever. Okay. I mean, that doesn't necessarily make you a bad person. Maybe a lot of people might see that as a noble sacrifice to get rid of fucking synths that are like replacing people or whatever to like cut off power from the Institute. You can't be a bad guy in Fallout 4, and a lot of people have a problem with that, right? Because you click on an option and sure, whatever, you can even like reload before the option and you click all the other options, you will always end up at the same place at the end of the conversation.
Well, not always. You can veer off, but it's not as much as in Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas and Skyrim.
Can you give me an example?
Well, when you actually meet your son, you can tell your son, no, I don't want to join you. Yes, I want to join you. And then it's like, okay, well, once you say yes, now you have, do you actually join him? Because if you're working with the Railroad, which is one of the factions, you can be like, yes, I'll work with you, but secretly you're setting up with one of the sins there and there's like a double agent, you're setting up an escape with him. So there's that. And then there's like, you can actually help Sean. And then there's like, you can actually, instead of like, you can say you're helping the Railroad, helping the Sean, but then you're like really helping the Brotherhood. And it's like this idea of like, you can say you're doing something, but you don't have to follow through and you can actually be running other
So effectively what you're saying is that there are factions in the game and you can choose to side with them at some point?
Yeah.
That's not the same thing as being an evil person.
I know, but you're saying that all the speech options go to the same point, which they...
Okay, so for very specific instances in the game, you can choose to stick with your faction or go against your faction?
You can go against your faction at any point, but yeah.
That's like a non-argument. Like, I said you're gonna end up at the same place eventually anyway, right? You're gonna fucking either you have like one choice. Yeah. You're gonna either destroy the Institute or you're not gonna destroy the Institute, and everything else is just incidental.
Yeah.
And you can't be a bad guy, and not that I ever would be a bad guy, but the thing is, I always chose to be a good guy. If I'm not choosing to be a good guy, then I'm just a guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it needs to be my choice of like, okay, I'm not going to get these extra caps because I don't want to sell this fucking village into slavery. Yeah. It needs to be my choice, or it doesn't, like, I don't feel like I'm helping anybody. You know what I mean? Like, if somebody's like, hey, come over and fucking save this settlement, and then you force me to do it, it's not like I saved the settlement. It's like the settlement was destined to be saved, and I just happened to fucking be there at that time. It just seems... So, overall, you're saying that you like the game?
I like the game. It's fun. The combat's really fluid. I thought Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas had very... Like Skyrim's combat is obviously better than Oblivion's, I think. Like, I think it's definitely more fluid and fits better. And that's the same with this, is that the combat is definitely improved. They definitely hit on that head. The leveling, I guess, is like, some people don't like it that you can always, like, everyone can be the perfect character. But I just think of that as like, that doesn't bother me really, because it takes so long to level up that really you're still having, like, at least when early on you have to definitely decide, I'm gonna do lockpicking in this, that by the end of it, it really doesn't matter. Like, by the time you get to that point that you're the perfect character, that it doesn't matter that you're the perfect character. You know what I mean? Like, because in Fallout 4 or 3, you could definitely become the perfect character.
Yeah, you could. I mean, almost the perfect character. Like, there were a lot of there were a lot of... No, you couldn't max out your special, but you could max out your skills. And then you couldn't get every perk.
Yeah, but...
So you had to pick which perks you wanted.
But couldn't you... I thought you in Fallout 3 you could max out your special too, because you would get the almost perfect, which would take you 9 to every skill, and then you would run around and grab all the bobbleheads.
Oh yeah, I guess was that in Fallout 3 or was that in New Vegas?
Fallout 3. New Vegas didn't have bobbleheads.
True. New Vegas sucked so much fucking dick. Okay, so the way that I sort of looked at it, and the way that, I mean, obviously having not played it, but to me it seems like everything pretty much everything is worse except for the exploration seems to be just as good, which is the main draw for me to the Fallout series anyway.
Yeah, like
and then the combat was better too.
The exploration is definitely great. Like one of my favorite things is going to vaults and learning about like what this vault did and what that vault did. Like that is just so interesting to me. Like I'll read all the terminals and all that. Like what made this vault a vault and what was the experiment.
My favorite part about that is that somebody in the real world had to think of all those fucking nasty ass experiments to like perform on people. Like that was an idea in somebody's head was like, hey, what if we just fucking had a vault that was filled with clones of fucking, the same person and just we see what the fuck happens? Or what if somebody was trapped alone with a box of puppets?
Yeah.
For fucking 200 years or whatever. Like, somebody had to think of that. That's fucking crazy to me.
Yeah. But, like, yeah, the speech is definitely dumbed down to the point where it's not really speech. And there are I think some of the characters in Fallout 4 are amazing. Like, Nick Valentine is such a cool character. Like, the Robotson detective guy from, like, the 20s, he looks like. He's awesome. He's a really cool character, I think. I don't know. Like, exploration of, what is it? You're in, Boston. Like a lot of, like when you're in DC, a lot of the buildings had no purpose, and in Boston it feels like every building has a purpose.
What do you mean by that?
You know, in like Grand Theft Auto, like there's tons of buildings, but you really couldn't go in any of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I felt like Fallout 3 had, but Fallout 4, I feel like every building is like the Bethesda Studios.
Not every building.
I know, but I'm just saying it's similar to.
Are you saying like there's less of them?
There's a lot more buildings you can go in. Like it feels like every building you can go into though. Like you know what I'm saying? Like almost every building has a purpose in the whole.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like tons to explore. Like you walk through the street and you hear ding 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 from unlocking all the points to fast travel to.
So if we just wanted to summarize, would you recommend playing Fallout 4?
Yeah, I would recommend. I think it's I think it's very good. I think it's fun. I think it's...
Is it better than Fallout 3?
No.
Is it better than Fallout New Vegas?
I didn't like New Vegas at all. And you and I both didn't, and we're like the minorities in that, so...
We're like the literal only two people on Earth who fucking didn't like Fallout New Vegas. It's so fucking weird.
Like, I mean, it wasn't a bad game, but it just wasn't Fallout to me.
I would go as far as to say it might have just been a bad game. Like, honest to God. It was so fucking boring. Just all the fucking walking.
Oh, people.
I don't know.
And people go, how? It's so much more. You can do so much more. And like, there's so many different branches than Fallout 3. I go, is there though? Because here's how Fallout New Vegas starts for every player. Anybody who picks up the game. Anybody. You go from Good Springs to the set town with I think it's Prim with the roller coaster, to Novak, to outskirts of Vegas. Why? Because if you go in any direction other than that set path, there are things to kill you. If you
Cazadors, yeah.
Outside of Good Springs, there are death claws. Actual death claws at level 1. So it pushes you to follow a path. Like, it may seem like you're doing it, like, out of your own, but the game is playing, it has a higher power that's controlling the game to push you along this linear path, and that's what sucks. Like, you telling me the story of how you, on Fallout 3, just missed Megaton. Like, you left the ball and said, I'm not going that way. Like, you just...
No, it wasn't a choice. It was just, I didn't know that the fucking compass in the bottom told me where to go. I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. I walked out of the vault. You're supposed to go to the left to go to, what was it called?
Megaton.
Springvale? Springvale.
I think it was Springdale.
And
I don't know.
Whatever. And I walked out of the vault and I went to the right. I just went to the right down this fucking road and I didn't know where the fuck I was supposed to be going and I stopped playing because of it. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, and like in that you really can't do it because in Fallout New Vegas you just go along the path because you have no choice. You will die unless you power level, I guess, but then your weapons won't be enough. Like you'll just have to sit there for hours.
Or you find like a glitch spot to like kill a fucking Deathclaw or some shit.
Yeah, but like out of basic like gameplay, you can't. You just have to follow the path. And like one thing that was dumb is we were both playing on like the expert mode, thinking that this is gonna be great. XP is still the same.
Survivalist or whatever.
I think the problem with Fallout New Vegas is pushes you. Fallout 4, I think, is more exploratory. Like, you can take the original path, or you can just walk off. Because, like, yeah, the first town you go to is your hometown, because it's, like, right there. Like, you can, like, look at it right there. So it's like, why not go back to my old house? Then you can go wherever. You can go to Red Rocket, get your dog. You can go anywhere. Like, there are like obvious enemy, like the game keeps like does that natural progression where the north is easier. Like, when you go, the more south you go, the more enemies there are.
Yeah, because you get into the valley or whatever, the
Well,
radiation.
that's outside the map, but like the further south you go on the map, you get more tougher enemies. Like, the enemies are definitely tougher, and like, it's like, you know how in Fallout 3, like Washington D.C. was a lot tougher than the rest of the map.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like that. Where this, like, it's like the closer you got to DC got harder, and once you're in DC got really hard.
And just to be clear, like, we both like. I mean, I don't know if it's in your top 5, but Fallout 3 is in my top 5 games of all time.
It's fantastic. It's a fantastic game. I think I think if you're gonna play it, buy all the DLC and just play it. Like, it's fun.
Yeah, just buy the fucking Game of the Year edition.
Yeah.
Boom, you're good. Yeah, so we both really liked Fallout 3, and we both really hated Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah. I played it twice. My brother bought a copy and he hated it and he returned it. Then he got it again. Then I went out and bought the Game of the Year edition, and I didn't even play all the DLCs. Like, I didn't even play.
That said, I think that Fallout New Vegas had better DLC than Fallout 3. That's what I think. That's just my opinion.
Like, I think, like, I liked Operation Anchorage and what is that, Broken Steel, and
You liked Broken Steel, the one where you had to go around and collect fucking ingots?
Oh, that's Broken Steel? No. I thought that was the Pit.
Oh yeah, that was Pit. You're right.
Okay.
Broken Steel is
the one that.
What
like,
does Broken Steel do? Well, fucking tell me to hold on. What the fuck?
Yeah, well, bro. Okay, just reset what you.
Let me fucking Jesus goddamn Christ! Let me say what the fuck. You fucking goddamn it, PC Master Race, son of a fucking.
It just stopped right there. I don't know why.
Uh-huh.
So okay. So all we just say is Broken Steel.
Fucking Fallout 3 better DLC than Fallout New Vegas, or Fallout New Vegas better DLC than Fallout New Vegas. Fucking. And one of the things that I recently learned was that before Broken Steel was installed, and I don't know if you know this or not, before Broken Steel was installed, you couldn't tell Fox to go in to the thing at the end of the game. You know how, like, it's like covered in radiation, and like if you go in, you die. No, that happens like in the middle of the game, your dad dying, but you have to go in at the end of the game. You couldn't tell Fox to do that. Even though he's immune to radiation, if you had him in your party, he would be like, no, this is a thing that you have to do. This is your destiny. And I was just like, I saw that and I was like, holy shit. That is the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. Because, you know, I've had this problem with Fallout 3, like, since, like, for a long fucking time. My main complaint with Fallout 3 is that at the end of the game, if you have Fox in your party, which I always do because he's glitched and he's fucking amazing, if you tell Fox to go into the fucking thing at the end of the game, the ending that you get still says that you're like a little punk bitch who didn't go in and fucking let somebody else die. You know, like, you let somebody else die and take your place, even though he doesn't die. And that pisses me off.
Wait, he would die?
That makes me... No, Fox doesn't die.
Yeah,
I know. What do you mean?
No, yeah, okay. That's what I was
So before Broken Steel, you just couldn't tell him to go in at all. But now he doesn't die. But you still get the ending where it's as if you let somebody else die. It's basically, it says, you know, the lone wanderer fucking, you know, let a true hero do whatever that day. And it's like, okay, so you're telling me that I can't be a hero and be fucking intelligent enough to understand, oh, this thing it literally does whatever I say, and it's immune to radiation. Why the fuck wouldn't I tell him to go the fuck in there? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but apparently that makes me like a punk bitch because I'm fucking not fucking killing myself. I guess you could just killing yourself makes you a hero. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. But I don't really like people like, oh, Fallout 3's main quest was way worse. Like, the story for Fallout New Vegas was way better than the quest for Fallout 3. I just say that, were you playing for the main quest?
Yeah, no, but to be fair, I agree with what they're saying. Like, the Fallout 3 main quest is kind of shitty. Like, let's be real. Like, oh, you have to go find your dad, like, oh, whatever. But the Fallout New Vegas, when you get down to it, it's like, so you have a chip and you're trying to like find somebody who shot you.
Like you get
I
shot.
guess, right?
Yeah.
Is that the whole deal? Like you're trying to find who shot you? Which is, I guess that's better, but it's not that great either. Like you can't be like, oh, that's amazing. I think that one of the main things too is that I didn't really care for the faction stuff in Fallout New Vegas. And I think that a lot of other people who defend the game just sort of have this false understanding that everybody had to like the factions. Because they kind of come at it from a perspective of like, oh, you had so much choice, you had so many more choices. When in reality, what they're trying to say is there were so many factions.
And the problem is the choices weren't there because like the only real good guy was Yes Man. Like he was like the most non-terrible. Like he was the robot to House. I think he wasn't bad. Like his choices weren't bad, and he just wanted, I think, like to shut down Vegas or something. Like he wanted to like stop the terribleness or something. I don't know. But like all like you had, what were the one people called? The red people that you had to go to their house and
the Caesar's Legion?
Yeah. They're bad. You had Dr. House who was bad. You had another group that was bad. It just or Mr. House. It was just not like trying to be a good character.
Dr. House. Seriously?
Yeah, sorry.
Fucking Dr. House.
I've never
fucking Hugh Laurie. Hugh Laurie is in the game and he
like doing anything good was really hard. Like you're like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'm just gonna stick with this guy because it seems like his like the lesser of two evils.
Yeah, and I mean maybe that's what they were going for. Maybe it is like because like that's something that you have to do a lot like in real life is you have to just pick the lesser of two evils. I mean like Trump, Hillary, like I mean that's what you're supposed to do. I'm just not gonna pick either of them, but that's what you're supposed to do. Is you're supposed to pick which one is the least bad. But to me, I've never liked the arguments of like, oh, well, that's how it is in real life, so why wouldn't they put it in there? So I literally play video games to not have to deal with real life.
Yeah, like I don't play Madden to go to the locker room and be made fun of for being fat. You know,
yeah.
I can go to school and do that. I'm like, you know,
I don't play fucking. I don't play fucking The Sims to go and have arguments with people about abortion on the internet. Like, I'm not fucking, you know, I want to get away from fucking all that shit. I don't play The Sims to fucking, I don't play The Sims at all, but I don't play The Sims to fucking have to discuss with my teenage daughter what the fuck abortion is and like what sex is. And
I thought people played The Sims to take the ladder out of the pool. I thought that was like the
just
whole
trap
game.
people.
Yeah.
I read like a thing where it was like this guy was playing The Sims and he had like a kid and he was like neglecting the kid or whatever and like a CPS worker came to fucking take the kid away and he would like try to box the CPS worker in, but the game like knew that you would do that, so the CPS worker can like walk, like can like teleport out of walls. So what he was doing the entire time was just the CPS worker would teleport because it would take a second. And then they would teleport because it'd be like they have to like refine their path or whatever. And then after that, they would immediately box him in again. And it became just a game of how long does it take for the CPS worker to come and take my kid away? like I don't care. I'm not going to actually take care of the kid. I'm just going to see how long it takes for them to do it.
You just want it to be yours.
No, it's not even like trying to keep the kid. It's just a game of like, how long can I keep this person away from my kid?
Yeah.
Pathfinding's
a weird
fucked up. You ever seen the picture of fucking Mr. Bones Wild Ride?
No.
Oh my fucking god. Let me go. I wish we were on fucking some kind of chat where I could send you a link. Look up Mr. Bones Wild Ride on Google.
Yeah, okay.
Jesus. You might not want to read it, but effectively what it is I'll just tell you, it's somebody was playing Roller Coaster Tycoon, and they made a roller coaster called Mr. Bones Wild Ride. And it took like literally like years of in-game time to fucking finish. So everybody was like getting really hungry on the ride and they were like, I want to get off Mr. Bones. It's just really fucking funny. And they just posted these pictures. And at the end of it, like when you go to the exit, it just loops back to the entrance. So the only thing you can do is get back on the fucking ride and go ride for like another couple of years or whatever, it's really fucking. You should go look at it. Not right
I
now.
see it. I just scrolled through it a little bit. Like I Roller Coaster Tycoon. I played that for the PlayStation 1. Pretty fun game.
Mm-hmm.
Video games are a weird thing. Like there's obviously different like video games for everyone, and I don't want to have to do things in real life that I can do. Like I can go outside. Like I don't play sports games all that often. I'll buy a Madden game every 5 years. So the last one I played was 2010. Then I bought 2015. You know,
Yeah.
I like to have one. I don't buy them every year because I can go outside and like try to learn to throw a football.
One thing that kind of pisses me off, and talking about Roller Coaster Tycoon is like it's kind of like a nostalgic game or whatever, right? One thing that pisses me off is I used to play Oregon Trail in school, like in computer lab. I would play Oregon Trail, and I wanted to play it again, and I went and I was like, Oregon Trail, let me try to find it to download it. There are like 600 versions of that fucking game. Did you know that?
Yeah, there's like Apple II's version.
I literally couldn't find the fucking version that I had, and so I just got pissed off and I gave up. It just makes me fucking mad. I just want to fucking play the version that I had, and I have no idea what the fuck one it was, so I can't find it.
Yeah, never played Oregon Trail. That's one game I've never played.
So fun, dude. So fun. Everybody dies of dysentery. It's great.
Yeah.
I've literally never made it to wherever the fuck you're supposed to be. Are you supposed to be going to Oregon, I guess?
Yeah, that's the whole point of the Oregon Trail.
I don't even fucking know. So obviously you can tell that I learned a lot about history from that game that's supposed to be teaching you history.
To be fair, though, it's a shitty victory.
Yeah. Well, congratulations, you did it. You're in Oregon now.
Yeah, like, it's really bad. I don't know. What's your next topic?
My next topic, segue, is Skyrim, because fuck your expectations. Not even remotely recent. I just have recently decided that Skyrim is easily my second favorite video game of all time. And I just want to I literally want to get a gaming PC just to play Skyrim in like crazy high def. That's all I want to do. That's it. So how do you feel about Skyrim, bro?
Super fun game. I need to get it for my PC. I'm not trying to spend money, but I was going to buy it soon. Skyrim is amazing.
You think it'll run for more than 30 seconds before your fucking PC crashes?
Oh, hopefully. I mean, all the other games do, so I don't know. I guess this Skype recorder is just really taxing on my processor.
Which, yeah, no, why wouldn't it be? That totally makes sense.
But yeah, Skyrim's amazing.
Skyrim really is fucking amazing.
You know all that stuff we said about Fallout New Vegas? Mm-hmm. It isn't that.
It's the opposite of all of that shit. And it's fucking amazing. And honestly, I just don't... People, like, argue all the time. They're like, oh yeah, Oblivion's better than Skyrim. I'm like, it's not even close. There are some aspects of Oblivion, like maybe the leveling up is a little bit more complex or whatever.
Dark Brotherhood.
But Skyrim is just legitimately... It's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And I don't understand how people can not fucking like it, let alone how people can, like, not have even tried to play it. Like, Skyrim is the best game to come out in the past 10 years.
It has the best release date ever.
11/11/11.
Yeah. Well, like I want to talk about that. Like, people will live and die. Morrowind's the best one. I'm just like, is that just your nostalgia for Morrowind? Because everyone seems to really jerk off all over Morrowind. I've never played the game, I can't say, but just their reasons aren't there. Like, oh, there's no fast travel. And people are like, yeah, you know, fast traveling really ruins the game because you have to walk everywhere and it gives you the immersive experience. I go, I don't want to walk, though. I want to move on and play the game.
Yeah, it's like, I don't necessarily need to be immersed. You know what I mean? I don't need to be a fucking... Yeah. I'm not going to role play my fucking character.
Like, I'm not going to download the water bottle mod where I have to drink water every 10 steps because in real life you would have to. I don't care.
Yeah.
I want to play the game. Like, that's why when you play survival games, no matter what kind of survival game you play, there's still some kind of, like, it being fake to it.
Mm-hmm. Because it can't be entirely realistic or just be fucking boring.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like, why would I want to play that? And that's what I like. I like people who don't play with fast travel. That's cool and all. I'm gonna fast travel.
Yeah, give me the option. And like one thing that I do like about Morrowind that's not in the new ones, and I've told you this before, I like that you can kill NPCs, even like essential NPCs. I like that. I like the fact that you can do that. I like the fact that you can potentially get rid of quest items if you're not paying attention or whatever. I like that. Honestly, I think that you should be able to fuck yourself over.
I like killing the NPCs. I don't like the quest items because you may not know what a quest item is.
So
like,
hold
you
on
make
to
it
it.
like,
That's what I'm fucking saying. I said to you, if I can't find a duplicate of an item, I don't get rid of it. Even when I play Skyrim and I know that they won't let you get rid of that shit, I just don't get rid of anything that I can't find a duplicate of. Like, literally, if I found, like, a weird fork or something, I was like, ooh, it's bent in a weird way. I wouldn't get rid of it unless I could find another one of them somewhere.
I don't want to pick up an item and have it. I don't want to carry the item and keep like track of all these items. And that may be cool for you. Maybe it would
Put it
be
in your
different.
fucking house.
Okay, maybe it would be different if they had fast travel. Because having to carry, because like imagine you have your house in the far left of the map, and then you meet David down the street on the other, all the way on the right side of the map, and he's like, "Yeah, I need this ring you have," and you're like, "Oh, let me walk back. I'll see you in a couple years, bud." And you walk back, and he's like, "Yeah, also need that mug."
Then that's not the fault of being able to get rid of the items. That's because I don't have fast travel.
I know, but because of not having fast travel, I don't want to get rid of the items.
So if they had fast travel, you'd be like, oh yeah, sure. You
Yeah.
gotta get rid of the items?
Sure.
Okay. So then that's not even, this isn't even an argument then. I want fast travel, you want fast travel, and then we're both fine with it. Why the fuck are we even arguing? God damn it, Brett.
Okay.
Just ruined fucking everything.
Yeah, I'm sorry. No, yeah. what shit happens.
My next topic, segue, is how good is macaroni and cheese?
Oh,
So fucking good.
okay. So let me ask you a question. Can you eat macaroni and cheese as a meal? Like you want dinner, you want mac and cheese. Is that a meal?
Yes.
My girlfriend doesn't say so. She goes, "What do you want for dinner?" And I'll be like, "I want mac and cheese." She goes, "We need something else." I go, "Why?" She goes, "That's not a meal." I go, "Yes, it is. You can eat it by
Fucking
yourself.
meal.
You take a bowl. You eat
It has
it."
protein, it has fat, it has a shit ton of fat, and it has carbohydrates. It's a fucking meal. Just fucking eat macaroni and cheese. It's so good.
I know it's a meal, and let me tell you about meals and what people say I can and or cannot eat. My mom, as a kid, like if I wanted a baked potato and French fries at like dinner, like we went out to like a barbecue place, I want the steak fries and I want the baked potato. She's like, no, that's two starches. Now, as an adult, I eat both because I wasn't allowed as a kid.
Yeah. Like, basically, it's kind of a similar deal. My mom, when I was a kid, wouldn't let me have any sugary cereals. Like, the only cereal that she... Like, the best, I'm using quotes here, best cereal that she bought was, like, Kix. Like, if we were lucky, she would buy Kix. And that would be the fucking treat that we got to eat was Kix. You know, Kix, it's like cardboard with, like, half a fucking grain of sugar mixed in, like, to the fucking... somewhere in the fucking process. But aside from that, what she would buy was grape nuts. Literal, actual grape nuts.
I've never seen Kix before. I just looked it up.
Yeah, it's kid tested, mother approved.
It's literally a picture of a corn. It's a corn. It's a corn on the cob. Just corn.
It's a fucking tiny little ball. It's fucking shitty. That's what she would buy if we were lucky. But realistically,
like a white box with black lettering that says cereal.
Yeah, basically, like this is generic cereal. Fucking come get it if you want it. So that's what she would buy, and then on a very, very rare, she would buy that, and she would buy grape nuts, and she would buy regular Cheerios. So regular, just normal, shitty cardboard Cheerios. Cheerios. I'm just gonna say it right now for everybody listening. For mom, I know you're listening to this. And you're the one viewer, fucking regular Cheerios suck fat dicks. They really do. They're fucking garbage. They literally just taste like fucking cardboard. And you need to add something. On very rare occasions, my mom would buy Honey Nut Cheerios, which are fucking delicious. Honey Nut Cheerios are fucking amazing. But that was like super rare. That was like if she got like a fucking promotion or some shit at work, we'd celebrate with fucking.
The space shuttle blew up, and that's how you measure your cereal boxes on space events.
Yeah,
they discovered a new planet.
Solid reference there. But anyways,
is that a reference?
Yeah, it's a reference to that was a Rooster Teeth podcast. They were talking about Jack every time a space shuttle goes out, Jack is like, if it blows up, he'll get late. Like, that was the whole point.
Oh.
But anyways, you do that all the time, and I never, like, bring it up that you're, like, just flat out stealing fucking shit from people. But now I'm going to do it because we're on a podcast, so it can embarrass you. But anyway, she would just buy shitty cereal that tasted like cardboard, and this had a twofold effect. it actually ended up making it so that I got more sugar in my diet because I would just pile fucking sugar. I would literally just grab the fucking sugar thing, like we had like a big jar, and I would just fucking pour it. Like I wouldn't get a spoon and put like a couple spoons. I would fucking pour the shit on top of the grape nuts or the fucking Cheerios just to make them fucking edible. Cheerios are edible. Grape nuts are. It is literally. Have you looked at grape nuts? Grape nuts is literally hamster feed that you're like, hey, people can eat this too, right? Yeah, sure. Let's box it up and fucking sell it for 18 times the price as this. It's actual fucking hamster feed, and it's just people fucking eat it. And so I would just pour fucking sugar all over it to try to make it taste passable. And I would eat it all, and then at the fucking end of the bowl, at the bottom of the bowl, it would just be a fucking mound of fucking sugar, and I would just eat every fucking bit of it. So
I just imagine just like you have a cereal bowl that's like level, like your cereal's level, and you just make like a 3-foot tall like sugar mountain, and you just eat the sugar and throw the bowl away.
Not feet, but we're talking like you could measure it in inches. Like you could, the mound of sugar that's on top of it, you could like measure it with like a measuring stick, and it would be a couple of inches tall. It was a lot of fucking sugar.
You'd have like super diabetes at the age of like 4.
Yeah. So it did that, and then now I eat sugary cereal all the time because I didn't get it when I was a fucking kid, and I always wanted it, and it festered inside of me that I just wanted fucking sugary cereal, but I couldn't get it. And now that I'm an adult and I have fucking access to it, I eat it all the fucking time.
Yeah.
So basically what I'm saying is if your kids want sugary cereals, give them fucking sugary cereals because they're just going to fucking turn into shitty adults because you're not giving them fucking good cereal.
Yeah, like I have that same experience, and I think everyone does. Like, mom wouldn't let them have like a popsicle and ice cream, so now they have like 40 popsicles and every different type of Ben and Jerry's ice cream there is.
I eat ice cream for literally every fucking meal, and they weigh 600 pounds.
And they can blame it all to their parents.
Mm-hmm.
For their shitty parenting. Because you and I are both great parents and know everything about it.
Man, this is what my fucking sister always does. Whenever I try to give her any kind of advice at all, she goes, "Oh, are you a parent? Oh, you can't say anything." My response to that literally every time is, I don't have to know how to make a cookie to know that a cookie tastes like shit.
Well, that's what I always say when people say, like, whenever I tell them I don't want to vote, they go, "Why? Then you can't complain." I go, if I don't cook a meal, I can still complain it tastes like shit.
Yeah, but I mean, at least with like cooking a meal, like if you're complaining to somebody who cooked it, there is always the argument of you can make it yourself. But I'm just saying you can know that it tastes like shit. That doesn't necessarily mean that you have to complain about it, that you have to vocalize it and whatever. But you can know that the meal tastes like shit. Like you can't be like, oh, there's literal actual balls of fucking shit in this fucking pasta. This is probably not how it's supposed to be. Nobody can fucking blame you for that. Nobody can say that you're wrong because there shouldn't be shit in your pasta. But somehow I guess when it comes to parenting, people are just so, like whenever you try to give them any kind of advice or whenever you try to tell them anything about it, they just get so defensive. Like you're calling them a bad like person or, you know, just critiquing their parenting at all basically is just saying, oh yeah, you're a bad person. You don't know how to do this. But I don't think that it's that way at all. I'm just trying to say, you know, maybe calm down or maybe do something a little bit differently. But it doesn't matter because I don't have a kid, so my opinion's valid.
Yeah, I guess, you know, hey.
Just like how I don't have a fucking vagina or I don't fucking have black skin, so my opinion's also invalid.
Yeah. We've been doing this for like 2 hours or an hour and a half. That's not too...
So, what are you saying? You want to stop it? You fucking end it?
I don't know. One of my favorite things, and like that is like, no, they, yeah, like I don't know, like, how do I describe this?